This is going to be a very, very controversial video. It's a new decade, so the question many have is, will the first major of the 2020s see a non-Big Three player win a slam? I'll break down the 2020 Australian Open men's draw and predict who will take it all here on Grand Slam Tennis News today. World number 1 Rafael Nadal will first face Hugo Dellien, followed by Joao Sousa and Pablo Carreño Busta. He's then projected to face either Khachanov or Kyrgios. In the quarters, he could meet Thiem, in the semis Medvedev, and in the finals either Roger or Novak. Defending champ Novak Djokovic has a very tough opener against Jan-Lennart Struff. After that, he has a relatively simple path to the quarters as Tatsuma Ito, Dan Evans, and Diego Schwartzman are in his way. In the quarters, he's projected to face Stefanos Tsitsipas, the semis Roger Federer, and in the finals Nadal or Medvedev. Third seed Roger Federer will face Stevie Johnson in the first round before possibly meeting Filip Krajinovic, Ugo Humbert, and Denis Shapovalov. In the last 8, he's set to play against Matteo Berrettini or Borna Coric. In the final 4, he may meet none other than Novak Djokovic, and in the finals is Nadal or Medvedev. Fourth seeded Medvedev will start his campaign for his first major against Francis Tiafoe, Dominic Koepfer, and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga projectedly. In the round of 16, he'll probably meet either Wawrinka or Isner, and in the quarters, Alexander Zverev. Nadal and Thiem are his projected semifinal opponents, and in the finals is Djokovic and Federer. In the first section, of course, we have top-ranked Rafael Nadal, and I see him getting through the second week with no problem. Pablo Carreño Busta is the best possible player he may face before the 4th round, but he just doesn't have the game to be his compatriot. The bottom part of this mini section is where all the fun will happen, as Nick Kyrgios and Karen Khachanov look to give the Spaniard his first big test of the tournament. If it does come between Khachanov and Kyrgios to face Rafa, I'm picking Karen because he's not only the steadier player, but Nick's ATP Cup loss to Bautista Agut showed me that if you're able to consistently get back his serve, he loses confidence in his game and self-implodes. A Khachanov-Nadal 4th round I feel would be reminiscent of their 2018 US Open clash, and I see Rafa coming through in 4 tight sets. The next section is teams, and I don't think too much of it to be fair. It's not too difficult, but not that easy either. I don't see Fritz meeting the Austrian in the 3rd round. Instead, this would be South African Kevin Anderson, whose ATP Cup showing was very impressive. In the top half, Gael Monfils and Felix Auger-Aliassime are on a collision course for a 3rd round romp. I instead favor in for an all-Canadian 3rd rounder because Wojciech Pospisil 2 has impressed me. I think Felix will get through this potential matchup and face Domi in the 4th round, with the more experienced team reaching his first Australian Open quarterfinal. Daniil Medvedev headlines the next section, and it's honestly not going to be that easy for him to make the quarters. He first gets an unpredictable Francis Tiafoe, and in the 3rd round an even more unpredictable Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Wawrinka and Isner are likely to play each other, and if it happens, the Swiss player will take this because I feel Isner is way past his prime. My Medvedev-Wawrinka 4th round would be a rematch of last year's US Open quarterfinal, which Medvedev won. For some strange reason though, I'm compelled to go with Stan on this one, and I honestly can't quite tell you why. Daniil is coming into Melbourne with a better form, but I have a strange reason Stan will surprise us this slam. In the last section of the top half, there's Alexander Zverev for one of his best chances to make the quarters at the Australian Open. Although David Goffin is his projected 4th round opponent, I see Alex beating Adelaide champion Andrei Rublev in the 4th round, with the Russian reaching the quarterfinals. It's really nothing more that needs to be explained. Rublev is by far the best player in this section and should make the last 8. This next Italian headline section has Matteo Berrettini trying to go deep in his 2nd consecutive slam. He will at least make it to the 3rd round, but will most likely not make the 2nd week. He doesn't have that much match play at all, and despite his favorable draw, fellow big servers Sam Querrey and Riley Opelka could make things hard for him. Focusing on the other Italian Fognini, I feel like it would be a repeat of the US Open 1st round, which Opelka won in 4. Wrapping this one up, I predict Coric and Opelka will meet in the 4th round, with Coric advancing. Roger Federer's section is next to break down, and it's honestly the typical Fed draw, and he should make it to the 4th round without too much of a fuss. Shapovalov and Dimitrov will probably meet in the third round, and Shapo is not only my pick in this match, but my pick in this section. Yes, I do think Denis will beat Roger in the fourth round, not only because of the youngster's fiery game style and how he's currently playing some of his best tennis, but I don't think Roger not playing a lead-up tournament or even a match will suit him well at all. Thus, I think Shapovalov will build on his stellar ATP Cup performance and go deep in a major for the first time. Tsitsipas headlines the penultimate section as well as Roberto Bautista Agut, and I believe these two will meet in the round of 16, thus being a rematch of last year's quarter at the same setting. In a section littered with big servers, I picked Bautista Agut to break through and reach the quarters in Melbourne, as he's been the best player of the bunch I feel in the Australian Open lead-ups. In the final section, we have our defending champion Novak Djokovic, and other than the tricky opening round match against Struff, I believe it's going to be a cakewalk to the quarters, as nobody here has the big game to hurt him. Struff will literally be his biggest task, and should he get through this one, which I believe he will, the last 8 is definitely his. The section does offer an interesting first rounder in Diego Schwartzman going up against Adelaide runner-up Lloyd Harris. Speaking of interesting first rounders, here are the popcorn matches you need to look out for. Back to the predictions, I believe Thiem will beat Nadal, and I say this sheepishly because I have the feeling that Rafa's body won't hold up. I picked Dominic and the Russian Rublev to meet in the quarters, with the more experienced Thiem making his first hardcourt slam final. The bottom half finalist is much more of a safer choice, as I believe Novak Djokovic will once again reach the Australian Open final, getting by Denis Shapovalov in the semis. In this far-fetched Thiem Djokovic final, I'm going with Novak to take his 8th title down under, because he will probably be coming into this match the fresher of the two, and is still looking for revenge over Domi from the Paris and London losses. That's it for my Australian Open men's preview, and tell me whether you agree with my controversial picks and predictions in the comment section below. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.